Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and this morning, it is about 3:46 in the morning on a Wednesday morning, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I am going to be bringing you guys my December TBR, and before I talk about my December TBR, I'm going to talk a little bit about my November TBR, and I'm just going to basically explain to you guys that my November TBR pretty much went to shit. Okay? I have had so much on my mind for the month of November. My wife and I've told you guys that we are in the process of refinancing our home. And what this would do is it would not only bring our payment down, but it would also pay off our credit card bills and would pay off our car. And that would basically just leave us having to pay a mortgage payment and, of course, utilities and whatever other little things like Netflix and all that we use. So this past November, I've been kind of a bear. My mind has not been on reading. I've gotten a little bit of reading done, but I've actually DNF'd so many books in the month of November, and they're probably books that I might actually have enjoyed had I been able to concentrate a little bit more on them. So you know what? I'm just going to start my December TBR early, and is my cat down? My cat's down there playing with my pants down here. Sorry about that. What are you doing, you weirdo? Anyway, so yeah. And I've also got a kind of a goal for my December TBR, because right now I am at like 166 books read for this year. And in 2019 I read 173. That is my highest year so far as far as books. And I want to break that record. All right, so I've got like a week or so left in the month of November, and then we're going to be moving into December, so it's crunch time. I want to do this. I think I can do it. I know I can do it. So yeah, I'm going to do it. All right. Anyway, so starting with the month of December, and these are all on my Kindle, so the picture will post up whenever I talk about the book. Anyway, the first one we're going to talk about is Racing with the Devil, and this is by Brian Smith. It's Halloween night in 1987. The era of fast cars, big hair, and glam metal is in full swing. A group of young friends push their appetite for destruction to the limit as they race along dark and dangerous back roads in search of a rumored epic spook night beer bash out in the boonies. But things take a tragic turn when they encounter a smirking villain in a sinister black hat. Excuse me, a sinister black car, all right? They become trapped in haunted nightmare country with no obvious way out. Before long, it's time to strap in tight, grab another cold one, and race with the devil. First to the finish line, might even get to live. And that is Racing with the Devil, and that is by Brian Smith. All right. Okay, so the next one up is one by an author. I have never read this author before, and I think this is their debut novel. But anyway, this is Crota, and this is by Al Goingback. Sheriff Skip Harding is investigating a double murder that has shaken the quiet town of Logan, Missouri. A slaughter that seems too brutal for a human perpetrator. A bear, maybe? But there are no bears in the area. Bodies begin to pile up, and Skip soon discovers that bullets are useless against this foe. Only with the help of Cherokee game warden Jay Littlehawk and the wisdom of Lakota medicine man George Strongeagle can Skip hope to stop the monster before it's too late. And that is Crota, and that is by Al Goingback. All right. And give me 1 second. I want to see what my cat is doing. Okay, he's kind of behaving himself, which is a good thing. Okay, next up, and this is a nonfiction book. This is called Behind the Horror. I'm not going to go into the whole synopsis here. Basically what this is about is it talks about certain horror movies and how certain true life events inspired those horror movies. To give you an example, A Nightmare on Elm Street was Wes Craven was inspired to write A Nightmare on Elm Street or to direct A Nightmare on Elm Street or whatever because he read about this man. I think he was a Korean man. I can't remember. But this guy was afraid to go to sleep because he was afraid that if he went to sleep, he would die. And that's exactly what happened. So, and then there was a thing about how Craven looked out his window and he saw this kind of raggedy looking guy, and the guy just looked at him with this malice or whatever in his eyes, and that's how he got the inspiration for Freddy Krueger. All right, so that's what this book is about. It tells you about the real life events that inspired these particular horror movies, which I'm pretty sure something like Jaws would be in here, The Strangers, and I don't know what else. Anyway, but yeah, that is Behind the Horror. So that's a nonfiction entry this December. All right, so let's see. Next up, we have got The Switch House, and this is by Tim Meyer. Congratulations, you've won a roll on Let's Switch Houses. Your life is going to change, we promise. Your dreams will come true. Everything you've ever wanted, we have it. This is a chance of a lifetime. Come inside, switch with us. Angela and Terry return home after several grueling months of filming the popular television show Let's Switch Houses, only to find their residence in ruin. Sure, the decor and framed photographs are the same. The color of the walls hasn't changed. The furniture sits unmoved, but something is off. Their quiet New Jersey home feels tainted. Angela can sense it, crawling inside her, infecting her mind, poisoning her thoughts. Then the nightmares begin, awful lucid visions that cause her to question her own reality. What happened at 44 Trenton Road while she was gone? Just what did she do? That bizarre woman who claims she can communicate with the beyond. Who is she exactly? Angela aims to find out, but the further she investigates, the deeper into madness she descends. How far will she travel before she loses the trail of clues? Or worse, before she loses her mind? And that is The Switch House, and that is by Tim Meyer. Okay. And my cat's down below me. I hear you hear these little meows down below. I don't know if you do or not. Come on. There we go. He's on my lap now. Okay, next up we got a short story collection, and this is It Came from the Multiplex. Welcome to tonight's feature presentation, brought to you by an unholy alliance of our spellcasters at Hex Publishers and movie mages at the Colorado Festival of Horror. Please be advised that all emergency exits have been locked for this special nostalgia-curdled premiere of death. From crinkling celluloid to ferocious flesh, from the silver screen to your hammering heart, behold as a swarm of werewolves, serial killers, Satanists, elder gods, aliens, ghosts, and unclassifiable monsters are loosed upon your auditorium. Relax and allow our ushers to help with your buckets of popcorn and blood, your ticket stubs and severed limbs, your comfort candy and body bags. Kick back and scream as you settle into a fate worse than hell. Tonight's director's cut is guaranteed to slash you apart. And that is It Came from the Multiplex. All right. Next up, we have got The Black Velvet. And this is by Michael Reyes. Jose Carvel is a scumbag, but he wants to be a better person. The degenerate writer and former ward of state is trying to recreate himself in the slums of the Lower East Side, yet his past won't stop haunting him. Those violent memories of his dark nights on the road, the tormented faces of those he left behind, the relentless nightmares of that ancient demon-stalked veldt with its covenant of blood and its master of shadow, dirt, and stars. He must confront his own dark truth while exploring the depths of sexual depravity and obsession in Fierce City during its summer of Sam. Carvel must fight to save the woman he loves while rescuing his own soul from the Black Velt's vile kingdom. And that is The Black Veldt by Michael Reyes. Almost forgot there. All right, next up we have got Witching Hour Theater. This is by Jonathan Janz. On a cool October night at the Starlight Cinema, an all-night horror movie triple feature is about to begin. Witching Hour Theater. It's the one exciting thing in Larry Wilson's life, not counting the lovely brunette who works the concession stand. Settling in, he loses himself in the atmosphere of the old place, the crowd, the screams, the popcorn, and the blood. But when the second feature ends, only 13 moviegoers remain. Among them, a woman of 19 with a fondness for piercings and the macabre, a cop and his wife, a trio of bad-tempered bullies, and a solitary figure sitting silently in the shadows of the back row. On this endless October night, Witching Hour Theater will become Larry's worst nightmare, for the movie on the screen is growing stranger by the minute. His fellow theatergoers are disappearing one by one, and the figure from the shadows is advancing. And that is Witching Hour Theater by Jonathan Janz. Okay, enough with the spooky voice bullshit or whatever. Anyway, no, I like doing my spooky voice. It's not really that spooky, though. Okay, next up, we have got Conjure Wife, and this is by Fritz Lieber. This is one that I originally DNF'd, and I thought, you know what, I want to go back and try to read this book, because I do think that once I start to get into it, that I will enjoy it. I guess I just wasn't in the right frame of mind when I first attempted to read it. Anyway, ethnology professor Norman Saylor is shocked to discover that his wife Tansy has been putting his research on conjure magic into practice. She only wants to protect him from the other spell-casting faculty wives who would stop at nothing to advance their husbands' careers. But Norman, as a man of science, demands she put an end to it. And when Tansy's last charm is burned, Norman's life starts falling apart. First, Norman has a disastrous run-in with a former protege. Then his student secretary accuses him of seducing her. He's even passed over for a promotion that had been certain. Plus, he's become exceedingly accident-prone. From shaving to carpet tacks to letter openers, hazards are suddenly everywhere. At his wit's end, he begins to worry that a dark presence is exploiting his fear of trucks. But the worst is yet to come when Tansy takes this curse upon herself. Now, in order to save his wife, Norman must overcome his disbelief and embrace the dark magic he disdains. And that is Conjure Wife, and that is by Fritz Lieber. Okay. Next up, we have got Gone to See the Riverman, and this is by Christopher Triana. Superfans, groupies, stalkers. These people will give anything for the idols they worship, be they rock stars, actors, or authors, or even serial killers. Lori is just such a fanatic. Her obsession is with Edmund Cox, a man of sadistic cruelty who butchered more than 20 women. She's gone so far as to forge a relationship with him, visiting him in prison and sending him letters on a regular basis. She will do anything to get close to him, so when he gives her a task, she eagerly accepts it. She has no idea of the horror that awaits her. Edmund tells her she must go to his cabin in the woods of Killen and retrieve a key to deliver to a mysterious figure known only as the Riverman. In her quest, she brings along her handicapped sister, and they journey through the deep, dark valley, beginning their trip upriver. The trip quickly becomes a surreal nightmare, one that digs up Laurie's personal demons. The one she feels bonds her to Edmund. The river runs with flesh, the cabin is a vault of horrors, and ghostly blues music echoes through the mountains. Soon they will learn that the Riverman is not quite fact or folklore, and definitely not human, at least not anymore. And the key is just the beginning of what is required of Laurie to prove she's worthy of a madman's love. And that is Gone to See the Riverman by Christopher Triana. Okay, last but not least, we have got Cockblock. Yes, that is the name of the book. You can see it right there, Cockblock. And that is by C.V. Hunt. After the daily grind of their jobs, all Sonia and Callie want is to enjoy a quiet night out together at a new restaurant. But making it to their reservation is proving to be a challenge. A few men on the street near their destination verbally assault them, and the situation quickly escalates into a nightmare. Once within the safety of the restaurant, the two women discover it's not just the men outside who have lost their minds. Men everywhere have gone insane, and they believe they found the origin of the mayhem. A radio in the kitchen is playing a hate-filled message against women, and it's being delivered by the president. There's only one way to stop the men from attacking women, and logic tells them they need to terminate the chaos at its source. And that is Cockblock. And that is by C.V. Hunt. And that is my December TBR. Like I said, this is crunch time. I want to break my record of 173 books. I know there are people out there that have probably read more books than that in a year, but that's my goal. That is my achievement, and nobody can take that away from me. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. It is, like I said, it is Wednesday morning. I'm going to post this on Friday, but I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. And whatever you do for Thanksgiving, do it safely. Do it safely. Have fun. Eat lots of turkey, chicken, pork, whatever it is you eat for Thanksgiving, pig out, okay? And until next time, take care and stay scared. Thank you. Bye-bye.